Because after the last video, they're going to think that you gave me the black eye.
I'm not abusive.
Once you cross that line, it is done. It's over. You've broken the boundary, and the trust is gone. She's a very beautiful woman. I don't know if you've like looked at her tonight, but
You doing that? You put that somewhere? I can't.
cancel me. I don't care, but I'm no dummy.
Let's go make a toast to this good life, just so we can post what it look like.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk About It, episode 2 in our series.
Today's topic, trust and boundaries, because we didn't have enough fun last time.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Should couples be sharing their location with each other?
That's a yes for me.
Should? Okay.
Should? Yeah. Depends. All right, depends. Look, none of our answers are ever that straightforward.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Explain yourself.
So I said depends because I don't think anybody should be forced to share their location if they don't want to. Although I think that's a red flag. I personally like to share my location and I like to see your location. So I didn't want to say yes because I know some people think that, oh, it's controlling, and two couples might be in agreement on that. So my relationship, yes. And if you say no, red flag.
I think you'll like my answer because we actually, we have the same answer. If you're saying things like, I love you, if you're saying like you're the one, you're saying things like forever, then yeah, go ahead, get that out of the way. Just go ahead, share your location. It makes life so much easier. And honestly, if you're saying those words and you're using your lover's location in a toxic way,
yeah,
you're using those words incorrectly.
Yeah.
Is it okay for your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? It says,
Why?
Well, I'll explain in a minute. All right, the reason I say is because, no, I don't want you to have a best friend of the opposite sex. But at the same time, if I met you and I'm attracted to you and I'm interested in you and I don't find out that you have, a best friend of the opposite sex right away, what am I going to do? I'm kind of already in.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to hate it. But let me be clear. No hanging out in private anymore.
Yeah.
That's not compatible with a relationship. Mm-hmm. I would like it a whole lot better if we could all be best friends. And now, you ain't gonna be best friends like that, but no having best friends that I'm not friends with, that's for sure. We gotta get along. We gotta vibe. Yeah. That's just not gonna work for me.
I said no. I wouldn't have never entertained you or got into a relationship with you because you had a girl best friend, unless there were obvious red flags in the beginning. I think I'm more willing to accept a girl best friend if you've known her since childhood. Same thing, if it's a relationship that I can be involved in. Now, if she don't want to get to know me, she doesn't want to come over to the house, she doesn't want to hang out, then I'm like, no. If she only wants to hang out with just you, then no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta
be
all be friends.
We're
at that
three
point.
besties.
Yep.
At that point. Your girl best friend is my best friend. And if that's not the case, then no, y'all are no longer friends. And if you can't accept that, she can't accept that, I'm out. So.
You know who my girl best friend is?
Raven?
It's Raven. And if you couldn't tell, Raven's hanging out here.
Yeah, she's just walking around. She got a lot of energy today. So if you hear pause, she came out of the table a second ago. It's fine. Is it okay for your partner to keep in touch with a former fling, or better yet, an ex-lover?
Mine says not really.
Mine says no, unless you have kids.
We're getting personal here.
I'm just saying. I said no, because I cannot see a world in which you would need to keep in contact with an ex. I don't care if you're friendly, if you claim that it's platonic and there's no feelings there anymore. The only caveat is if you have children together and you're in a co-parenting situation, aka us. So you really can't expect your partner to ignore their ex if they have kids together.
I said not really because obviously my situation's unique. I acknowledge the fact that there's going to be contact, there's going to be communication. No avoiding that. But if it weren't for that, much to your point, No, that's just not necessary. Like, why are you talking to that man? I guess, you know, I could see a world in which you had a relationship where you could be friends, but look, this is the boundary part, right? Like, no flirting, no bullshit. Like, it's got to be very, again, this is almost like having a male best friend or a best friend of the opposite sex. Like,
no, because you had relations with that person.
I know, I'm saying it's almost like that. Like, I could see a world in which you would want to be friends with a person. Like, that possibility exists, but there's a hard line in the sand, and if you cross that, like, you've broken the boundary, and the trust is gone. Like,
I just think there's no way in hell. Like, relationships end because, and people say it was a mutual breakup. No, 9 times out of 10, I would say 10 times out of 10, one person probably felt like they could have stayed in the relationship more than the other person, right?
Yeah,
so that's
it's
either
very common that both
people
parties
are
decide
like,
to walk away.
So it's either you, the person that's in the relationship, or it's the other person. So if you try to maintain a friendship and your significant other, like, I don't know, I just be thinking like, so who's the one who has more feelings? Like, who couldn't let go? Who still wants to be in a relationship? Are there boundaries being crossed?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, for me, I can see a world in which it exists, but like I've always told you, because obviously she's a very beautiful woman. I don't know if you've like looked at her tonight, but men are going to approach you, former flings are going to approach you, best friends, whatever it is. Like, as long as I know that you're shutting that door, I think I could live with it. I won't necessarily like it, but as long as I know that door is shut, I could live with it. So that's where I stand. Yeah. Y'all can't be hanging out privately. Like, cancel me. I don't care, but I'm no dummy. Number 4 for the day. Would you get involved with someone that you know has cheated in their past?
Yes. ... Okay.
All right, I said yes, ... because I have. But I'm a big believer in people make mistakes and people grow. And look, I've made my share of mistakes. You got to take accountability. You got to own it. And you move on with life. And I don't think you should be just outcast for the rest of life because you make those choices. The important thing is, do those people take accountability? Do they own it? For me, that, it's just people deserve to have second chances. People deserve growth, and I feel like I've achieved that. And honestly, babe, like, you're the last woman I'm ever gonna touch. So, honestly, that is very true. If you're doing that, then you are not fulfilled. You are not happy. You don't have a person that is going to complete your life. I hope I didn't steal all of your thunder.
And it's not on them. I want to make that clear. I feel like that statement can seem like, oh, like you cheated on someone and they weren't your person because they were doing something wrong. Like, no,
absolutely, yeah.
It's all on you. You should have recognized that this wasn't your person from the jump. So my answer is basically the same. The way you started out, you said it doesn't define you and people can change, and I agree, it doesn't define you. I think if we thought that people made mistakes and they could never learn from them, I don't know what kind of world we would live in. But I definitely think if you are cheating and you haven't cheated on me, I think you haven't found your person. I think there's something that you haven't looked internally and assessed within yourself as to why you're doing that. And I think to cancel someone out and to not want to be with someone because of something they did to somebody else, you don't know how that person may be with you, and I think everyone deserves a chance.
Yeah. Would you ever continue a relationship with someone who did cheat on you?
No. And I know I just said people deserve second chances.
Yes,
people change.
It changes up.
This is where the difference is. Just because someone cheated on someone else doesn't mean they're going to cheat on you. But I know if I got cheated on, I'd be able to forgive, but I would never be able to forget. It would just replay in my mind over and over again. And the hurt that, that situation caused, I just want to be able to let go. And it's not like they did whatever they did in their past, like what I was talking about before. It's not like they did it to me personally.
It's different when it's done to you.
Yeah, it's different when it's done to you personally.
So my answer is the same. That's a hard no. And it's funny because when I was young, and like I was very young and dumb, I was cheated on, and I wanted nothing more in the world than to be back with that person. But like, and I've shared this with you before, but my aunt, my favorite aunt in the world, was the one who said it. She was like, you know, if you are going to take this person back, if that's in the realm of possibilities, you have to be able to move on from it. You can't be, you know, can't be in the middle of an argument and throw it in their face. Yeah. You can't be petty.
I'm
like,
not capable of that.
You have to be able to move past it. It just would always eat at the back of my head. Trust is so hard to get back, and I just don't know that I could do that. So I'm with you. It's a no.
What's worse, being cheated on physically or emotionally? God. I already know what your answer's gonna be.
No, you don't.
Because I do.
You don't know nothing.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
It's physically for me.
Me too.
Really?
Oh
Oh,
my
wow,
God.
I'm actually surprised.
I thought yours was gonna be emotionally.
Oh, okay. Let's hear your explanation.
So I said physically because I'm a very visual person. I think with the emotional aspect, there's some mystery to it. Like, you don't know what someone else, say you're in a relationship, you know what it's like to be with your partner physically. You also know what it's like to be with them emotionally, but you don't know what it's like the experience that they had with someone else emotionally. So you can only imagine what their conversation's like and what their feelings are, but you never are solidified in that. You've been with your partner physically, you know their bodies, what they, you know, whatever. I guess to an extent, if they're seeking physical connection with someone else, it might be better, but like, I just imagine myself envisioning and that playing in my mind over and over again, and I couldn't. That would be worse for me.
My answer is much shorter.
I know.
But I will say, like, you made some good points, things that I wasn't even thinking of, but I agree. Like, I'm very much the same in that way. Number one, I want to say, physically, you'll never be matched, so you don't have to worry about that.
You were going there.
The thing for me is that emotionally, look, kind of to your point, there's like some mystery to it, but the number one thing for me is like, when it comes to my perception of your cheating, whether it be emotionally or physically cannot be undone. Emotionally, like, it happened, but like there's no tangible to it. Oh, I was interested in somebody. Oh, I flirted with somebody. Oh, I did this, I did X, I did Y, Z. But to me, it's like the actual physical act. You can never take that back. At least with emotional, it could be like your judgment's clouded. You're wanting something in a moment. Like, it's a moment of weakness. Physically, it might be a moment of weakness, but I don't care. Like, once you cross that line, it is done. It's over. There's no taking it back. It will always have happened. Whereas emotionally, it's just like, yeah, it happened, but like, how serious was it? Physical, it's like you're like.
See, I think the difference is like, if I'm claiming an emotional attachment to someone or claiming I have an emotional connection with them, that means I know it's not a lapse in judgment for a moment of time. I know that, like, in my mind, if I say I have an emotional connection with someone, that's not like a lapse in judgment for a moment in time. Like, it's like, if I'm saying I have an emotional connection with someone, and I would hope that other people would do the same, like, it's not a small thing. And that's how I viewed it, even comparing it to physical, and physical was still worse to me. So
I say, like, look, emotional is, you could barely emotionally cheat, or you could like be all in emotionally cheat.
That's what I was thinking. All in emotionally cheating. I feel like
I wouldn't even care if you all. Well, I guess it matters, but yeah, I don't know. This is another example of how men and women think differently. Even though we came to the same answer, I think it's particularly funny. I do feel like most people would actually answer emotionally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd buy it.
I don't think I'd buy it either. I think people just say what everybody else says. And I'm like, no, I can't get graphic on YouTube. You doing that? You put that somewhere? I can't. No. I would just be, no thank you. And because I feel like that takes so many extra steps. Like, I feel like to be emotionally intrigued by someone, to be, like, humans are meant to fall in love. They're made to feel like, I just think, like, to get to the physical point, there were so many extra steps involved. You had to go somewhere secluded. You had to be in the right moment. You had to look at each other in the eyes. You had to take each other's clothes off one by one. Like, no. There's so many extra steps to that. And I'm just like, absolutely.
There's variations of this though. You can physically cheat by kissing. You can physically cheat by like, I don't know, there's so many ways.
But why are you alone? Why are you
you could be at a bar and physically cheat.
Yeah. Like, okay.
It doesn't always have to go down like that, is all I'm saying. But we're rambling at this point, so.
Well, I think that went well. We actually had like, did we agree on everything? You didn't really like give yes or no, so I feel like
nobody gave yes or no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that went well. I think we were in agreement on most things, if not all things. Just we had different maybe interpretations or explanations. Thank you so much for watching Trust and Boundaries in our Let's Talk About It series. Like we said last time, if you have any suggestions on topic areas, please put it in the comments.
And I want to hear some hot takes.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody can be in agreement with us.
No.
I want to hear.
I know there's plenty of people out there that y'all are crazy.
But we're crazy together, and that's great.
Okay.
So.
We're in agreement.
Yeah.
And that's why we're together.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed watching it. We enjoyed having you. We look forward to you joining us again for the next one.
Yep.
And you should like click,
comment,
and subscribe.
Wait. I don't think we pointed out, and I don't know if you can see it on video, but I feel like we shouldn't gloss it out. Jamie has a black eye.
Wow, that's so crazy. Why are we?
No, because we have to. Like, imagine you're sitting here with a black eye, and
can you see it?
It could be funny, babe. It's like yellow. It's getting worse.
Is it right there? Can the camera see it?
I can't see what the camera sees because it's so far away.
Can you? If you can see it, then...
I can see it. That's why I've been staring at it this whole time. That's why I'm doing that.
All right, now they saw it.
Let me finish. I feel like we should point out the elephant in the room. I'm not abusive.
I was wondering why this is so important to you. Look.
Jamie has a black eye, and tell him why.
I play basketball all the time. I love basketball. I happen to have caught an elbow. I'm the best transition defender around, and you know, he missed, so it was one-on-one, fast break, he missed. I took an elbow, but he missed, so.
Well, I just feel like we should have pointed it out because you can't just come on camera with like, imagine if I came on camera.
Because after the last video, they're gonna think you were doing this.
But imagine I came on camera with a black eye. Like, you gotta address it. Be like, I ran into a wall, whatever the case may be. You can't just sit here and ignore it. So yeah, his black eye was basketball, not me. Just want to say that. But yeah, like, click, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. What's wrong with you?
And we'll see you on the next video.
Can't wait. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.